What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Let Us Pray. I hope you're having a blessed and prosperous day, man. Wednesday morning, NFL Rants. You know what it is. Super Bowl Sunday. This Sunday, man. Super Bowl Sunday. Chiefs versus the 49ers. Who's going to win? I'm not going to do my prediction until probably Friday or Saturday. I'll probably do a Saturday. Who's going to win? We're going to do the coaching episode today. Which coach has the advantage in the Super Bowl? Andy Reid or Kyle Shanahan? I don't think you can fully talk about coaching advantage with just the two. I think you have to combine the defensive coordinators. So I'm going to discuss those guys. Robert Saleh, 49ers defensive coordinator. This guy has catapulted himself as one of the best defensive coordinators this season in the NFL. 2019 and 2020 season. He's a hot candidate to be one of the next head coaches in the NFL if he so desires. He plays an aggressive style of defense in that they have very aggressive pass rushers, man, that can close the pocket on passing downs. The only chink in the armor of the 49ers defense I have seen somewhat through the season is the ability to give up a lot of runs. The running game, the run defense was a little shaky midway through the season towards the end. They got gashed by the Arizona Cardinals quite a bit. They got gashed by the Seattle Seahawks quite a bit. And then scrambling quarterbacks seem to give them a lot of trouble. But the 49ers defense has been lights out pretty much in the playoffs. Despite giving up a big play to Stephon Diggs early on in the Minnesota game. They pretty much been doing their thing after that. I can't remember which guy got sat down. Mosley and Witherspoon. I think Mosley is the guy who's starting now. I think Witherspoon was the guy who was starting and gave up the big play for the 49ers defense, cornerback. So they made that adjustment. They also got Quan Alexander back, big help, and his veteran presence at linebacker. Good coverage guy. Good guy diagnosing plays. Very rangy linebacker. Very savvy. Very athletic. They got Warner in there. Very athletic. Reads and diagnoses plays very well in zone coverage. Yeah, he's a keeper, man. Got to talk about those big boys. Bosa. And I always forget that dude's name. It's always on the tip of my tongue. Armstead. And there's another big dude, freaking huge guy that got playing on the defense. So Robert Saleh has a lot of toys to play with, basically is what I'm saying. Then you got Richard Sherman, top-rated cornerback in the league this year. Jaquiski Pop-Tart. So he has lots of toys to play with, man. He can play very aggressive. He can play cover 3 shell. He can play very conservative and just let that line do his thing. Or he can come up and bring the blitz and force you to get that ball out soon and dictate what they want you to do. So it's going to be a chess match because that Kansas City offense, you cannot make one mistake. If you make a mistake, it's a touchdown. That's just how Kansas City offense is. If you make one mistake, Patrick Mahomes is gonna burn you, man. So it's gonna be an interesting chess match, man. Robert Saleh's a good defensive coordinator. The offensive coordinator for the Chiefs is well, we all know Andy Reid is one of the best offensive coaches probably that the NFL has ever seen. He's had much success as a offensive play caller. Having Donovan McNabb with the Philadelphia Eagles previously. You know, he's gonna be a great matchup against Robert Saleh. But defensively, the Kansas City Chiefs have, I believe, Steve Spagnuolo, who formerly, I think he was the defensive coordinator of that New York Giants team that beat the Patriots that year. The Patriots were going for the undefeated season. Mastermind a great game plan for that Super Bowl, and they were able to defeat the freaking Super Bowl runaway favorites that year in the New England Patriots by his scheme, his defensive scheme that he drew up for that week. So guy's no slouch as a defensive coordinator. They have some nice players over there. Frank Clark. They have Chris Jones. So they have some really good defensive ends there. Then they have Tyrann Mathieu. And they just got a lot of other glue guys. Sorensen. I don't even know some of the name of these other guys. But they play well as a unit. They don't give up huge plays usually. They kind of make you chip away and stay patient, which is the complete opposite of what their offense is in Kansas City. So while their offense is just sliding up and down the field, the defense is just making you almost making the time run out on you by only allowing, you know, short yards and minimal gains. They really tighten up against the pass. So if you get behind early, it's really tough for you to pass on that Kansas City defense. So who has the advantage? Who has the advantage? 49ers defense is obviously a better defense than the Chiefs. Kyle Shanahan's play calling has been masterful in the playoffs so far. I don't even know if they've passed the ball 20 times yet in the playoffs. And to me, that's the definition of having a great play caller, because he's just going with what's working. The running game has been phenomenal. MOSTERT has been phenomenal. Clearly, he's learned his lesson from when he was with the Atlanta Falcons. Not letting his ego get the best of him. He's just going with what's working. Keep going with, keep riding your running game, your bread and butter. So that within itself lets me know that he's all about winning and not about trying to look impressive as a play caller, which I thought was one of his biggest weaknesses some years ago. Just letting his ego get the best of him. But it seems as if he's learned that lesson. It will remain to be seen. There's still a lot of time. Like, got a whole game to play, you know. As far as Andy Reid goes, the one thing that worries me about Andy Reid is the Chiefs have kind of gotten off to slow starts each playoff game. They were down 24-0 to the Texans. His initial play script seems to not be working that well in these playoff games. Other teams seem to have a good read on good read, pun intended right there. A good read on what the Chiefs want to do in those first 2 drives or so. But then after that, it seems like Andy Reid gets off script, starts diagnosing what the defense is doing. Him and Mahomes collaborate, talk on the sideline, and then boom, the Chiefs are gone. Freaking scoring 30 points to almost 50 after that. And seemingly 3 quarters. First quarter, they're not playing very well, but in the next 3, they're scoring about 40 or 50 points, which is amazing. So in one instance, it seems like Andy Reid can do a better job of getting his team off to a better start. But however, it seems like he's making excellent adjustments there when he sees what the defense is doing, how they're trying to slow down their attack. And once he finds out what you're doing, once he finds out, you know, where your guys are going, what formations you're liking to stay in, how you're blitzing them, how you're trying to contain KELCE, how you're trying to contain Tyreek Hill, how you're trying to contain Mahomes. They're looking at it and they're just picking it apart after that. So it's to pick one coach over the other is kind of tough at this point. Kyle Shanahan, like I said, he's been calling masterful games. 49ers haven't played a close game in the playoffs. Kansas City hasn't played a close game in the playoffs. Kansas City won by about 30. I think 49ers won about 30 last week. Then Kansas City won by about 17 last week against the Titans, which are a run-heavy team, so you're not going to get as many possessions. So it's naturally so that, Kansas City wasn't going to score as much. So, I don't know, man. I think Andy Reid's ability to adjust to each defense that he's seen so far, and those were, well, the Texans defense is not known to be that great, so I'm not going to give him so much credit for that. But that Titans defense is like a top 5 defense in the league. They're a really good defense. I think they were really underrated coming into the playoffs. I think they have potential to be a contender, barring any major injuries to that core unit. So I'm going to give Andy Reid the credit he's due. He's been doing it for longer. He's been there as a head coach before in the Super Bowl. He's lost. He's hungry. I believe he has the better weapons offensively. I believe defensively, once the Chiefs get that lead, multiple score lead, 2-score lead, I think they're going to force the game into Garoppolo's hands. And then I think the Chiefs will be able to kind of capitalize somewhat, not necessarily on errors by Garoppolo, but I just think the game plan and the way Kansas City's defense is coached is tailor-made for them having that a multiple score lead, a 2-score lead or more. And then that's when they put teams in trouble. So I'm going to give the coaching credit to give the coaching edge to Andy Reid. I think he's going to be able to make those adjustments after the first couple drives. Niners may jump out, 3-0, possibly 10-0. But I think the Chiefs will storm back due to Andy Reid's adjustments. I'm not going to do a score prediction, but I'm going to say Andy Reid has the advantage in this one. I don't think 49ers will just be able to just run the ball down the Chiefs' throat. I think Steve Spagnuolo will not allow that to happen as a defensive coordinator. You see what their game plan has been. Not to say that it can't, and I mean, drastically change in the Super Bowl, but Jimmy Garoppolo has definitely been hiding in the playoffs. He's had a couple of throws that were kind of shaky in that Minnesota game. Really wasn't asked to throw at all last week against the Packers, because the Packers were just freaking horrible. Some people say they were horrible on purpose, but, you know, that's another conversation. But, yeah, advantage to Andy Reid and the Chiefs and his defensive coordinator, Steve Spagnuolo. But you can't just give Andy Reid the advantage without talking about that boy, Patty Mahomes. Because I think Patrick Mahomes is the reason why the 49ers defense and Robert Saleh doesn't give them that edge this time over this team, because he's just a special playmaker. He's an ad-libber. He can, you know, once the play breaks down, he can still break you off for a 50, 60-yard touchdown. Kind of like the young Aaron Rodgers, how he used to be. It's almost like the worst thing you can do is let the play break down. You'd rather him just take that 5-yard dig route or that little slant across the middle, rather than letting that play develop. And, you know, 8, 9, 10 seconds later, he's scrambling around, running around, and then slinging that thing down the field, rerouting his receivers, and boom, he got you. Got you for a big play. They right down in the red zone, and then next thing you know, touchdown. So I just think it's going to be too hard for the 49ers coaching staff to contain that offense for 60 minutes. I think the Chiefs will make the necessary adjustments when they find out what the game plan is for the 49ers in the first quarter or so, and then they'll come out rolling for the next 3 quarters. So it's your boy, Let Us Pray. I hope you have a blessed and prosperous day. Let me know in the comment section who you think has the coaching advantage, man. Is it Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, or is it Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh? Let me know, man. There's no wrong answer. There's no, you know, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just giving my opinion on what I've seen. Giving my opinion on this big game, man, the Super Bowl game. So hope you guys have a blessed and prosperous day. Take care. It's your boy, Let Us Pray, man. Smash that like and subscribe button for me, and peace. We are out. Enjoy your Wednesday.